For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
NewsSpin is the best. Listen up. NewsSpin is the best. Me say listen up massive. NewsSpin is the best, yeah. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitor talk show. All across the world. Check the signal, it blaze up the airwave. NewsSpin on your radio, hear me now. Tune in the frequency, come along, Junior. NewsSpin a vice up the play. NewsSpin is the best. Listen to the massive. NewsSpin is the best. Knowledge must abound. NewsSpin is the best. And say more knock a play way. NewsSpin is the best. Papa Bond, yeah, by team, all man. Across the land, all across the globe. Echoes of voices, we join in hands in hands. Harmony rising with the afternoon sun. Come along, NewsSpin has begun. NewsSpin is the best. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitor talk show in the world. The true facts about Sophia volcano, Sandy Beach, banana and Sneem Malmo. Voices from the chat room, the capital Castries Hills. We feel the warm Caribbean breeze, teaching the truth, making hearts feel ease. Knowledge must open up every mind. Learn about your island home. We leave no one behind. NewsSpin on your radio. Pull up the volume, Jay. NewsSpin on your radio. Pull up your seats. Afternoon time. NewsSpin on your radio. Come along. NewsSpin on your radio. Let the message strong. dreams. Today now we line me world with our hymns. NewsSpin is the best. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitor talk show in the
Anyway,
this is how you laugh after somebody says to you, you deserve a Nobel Prize for that suggestion you gave regarding how Wasco should improve its operations. And this guy laughed, a hearty laugh, on Monday of this week. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. NewsSpin is on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel and Power 97.9 FM. We have here with us, as usual, Jante going through the comments in the chat rooms, and she'll be having some updates for us. I'll be getting your calls as well via 452-2979, 452-2979, and the most famous number, 716-2026, 716-2026 for your WhatsApp calls and your WhatsApp messages as well. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon discussing a range of issues. Know that you will have your say as to what you would like to highlight on this broadcast. The latest regarding this incident between St. Lucia and St. Vincent over the weekend. You've seen videos in circulation of a wreckage. It is believed that's the wreckage of that boat which came under American attack. And we are told this boat belongs to fishermen or fisher folk out of St. Lucia. And you see a number of people converged on an area. I am told that the wreckage was first spotted just above the Deriso area, entering Point Vierge. That's where you have the latest venue that's been hosting St. Lucia Jazz out of last year, hosting St. Lucia Jazz events. And the wreckage, well, what happened to it? A number of people went out to sea to fetch the wreckage. And it's supposed to have all kind of evidence in there. The DNA, possibly, of those people who were blown to smithereens. I'm told 2 St. Lucia nationals as well as Venezuelan. Might have evidence of contraband, what was left of them, don't know, maybe cocaine, maybe marijuana, whatever it is. I don't know. But where was the St. Lucia Marine Unit? Or where is the Marine Unit of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force? Let's watch what is happening there. Take a look. Those of you who are watching via Facebook and YouTube, all over the wreckage, group of men, don't know what interest they would have in that wreckage, but they have an interest in it. But one would have assumed that once this incident occurred, officers of the Marine Unit of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force specifically would be on the lookout for the wreckage. And they would have been out there searching for it along with their Vincentian counterparts. Imagine counterparts from Martinique as well, but they would be in the mix. Nowhere to be found. What does that say about our national security? And we focus about protecting our borders because our borders are so porous. If we know for a fact that this incident occurred, there will be debris, there will be the wreckage, there will be evidence on the high seas. Any ordinary Joe Blow will tell you that they ought to be on the lookout for the wreckage, the remnants. Because my sources are also telling me, in the case of St. Vincent, the Marine unit, they were out in full force. Likewise, other so-called fishermen were out there, seeing what they can net, what they can catch. Any leftovers, or maybe out of curiosity. So maybe at one of his press conferences, St. Lucia's Police Commissioner, Mr. Vernegard, can address this. And maybe the head of the Marine Unit of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force can be at the head table to first issue a statement and also to answer some questions from our reporters, if our reporters want to ask any questions, any relevant and pertinent questions regarding this situation. But you have to be very worried as a St. Lucian with regard to your own protection, the protection of our borders, matters relating to national security. It is one big joke, and it is also a mess. Our NewsSpin news of the day. U.S. says 11 people killed in latest strikes on alleged drug boats. That's our NewsSpin news of the day. U.S. says 11 people killed in latest strikes on alleged drug boats. But we have more information to share with you. According to the Guardian newspaper of the UK, 3 boats targeted in Eastern Pacific and Caribbean as Trump continues pursuit of alleged narco-terrorists. And that piece is by one Victoria Bekempis. It reads, it's dated the 17th, Tuesday the 17th of February. U.S. military officials have said American forces launched assaults on 3 alleged drug smuggling boats, killing 11 in one of the deadliest days of the Trump administration's months-long campaign against alleged traffickers. So yet another series of assaults. We're not talking about the one which occurred over the weekend. That's a fresh one. The story continues. The military action on Monday brought the number of fatalities caused by U.S. strikes to 145 since September, when Donald Trump called on American armed forces to attack people deemed narco-terrorists on small vessels. There have been 42 known strikes in notorious drug trafficking routes, such as the Caribbean Sea and Eastern Pacific Ocean, according to the Associated Press. U.S. Southern Command posted video to social media showing this week's strikes. Authorities insisted the boats transported drug trafficking criminals, but the video does not appear to provide information confirming this claim. That's part of that story. And yet still, talking about St. Lucian nationals being killed on the high seas, along, we are told, with Venezuelans, and more people are being killed in Caribbean waters, and particularly in the case of the 2 St. Lucians, who we are told were linked to that assault by the Americans. We are yet to hear anything of note, anything that will bring some clarity to the confusion from our authorities in St. Lucia. Not the police commissioner, not the prime minister, not the national security minister, not hearing anything from the home affairs minister. Those 2 men who were killed were missing probably because there's not been any official report as to the identity We have not heard from the parliamentary representative from the respective constituencies. So we're not hearing anything at all. Now, it is sometimes it can be very difficult for a prime minister in such circumstances to come out and speak and make reference to specifics. But the prime minister can tell us more than what he said to reporters just recently during that press briefing. Instead of saying, well, unofficially, we've received word that 2 people were killed, but now 2, 3, 4, 5 days later, you expect to hear something more substantial from the Senusha leader. Primarily because people are jittery. Whether you're talking about fishermen, members of the public, the business community, the entire Senushan society. People have answers. People will be fretting over certain issues. They just want to hear from those people who were elected into office to serve them, not to serve themselves, because those people have a lot of information at their disposal. And they're keeping that information very close to their chest. But there's something that they can tell us. You have an employee keeping critical information from his or her employer. That is exactly what is happening to us at this time. So we expect to, I now have heard from the fisheries minister, because when there's the feast of fishermen, for fishermen's feast, they all come out and, shower our fisher folk with a lot of praise and celebrate and so on. When it really matters, we want you to also make your presence felt. And we're hoping that the lives of fishermen also are important, are critical. Because remember a few years ago, a group of Senusians were out in the Constitution Park in Castries. They were demonstrating, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. In the main, if not 100%, in the main, most of our fisher folk are blacks, are Senusians. Their lives do not matter. Let's play you this video. You could see those people. They're just a reminder that I think some of you might have forgotten. But it's all those people in the Constitution Park being very lively, almost boisterous. In 2021, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Again, I'm asking, what about the lives of our fisher folk?
We are standing up for something that is noble and true. The Americans stood up with us during our time of Beaufort. Why can't we stand with them today? The time is now, and now is the time. Black lives, Black lives, Black lives. Beaufort, Charlie Boo, Beaufort, Charlie Boo, Kimberly, Mount Jimmy Red, Arnold, Shaka Dan.
The fishermen. So our NewsSpin question of the day, it reads, we agree that Black Lives Matter, but what about the lives of black fisher folk? We agree that Black Lives Matter, but what about the lives of black fisher folk? Our NewsSpin question of the day. Let us hear now from a former president of the Senusha Fisher Folk Cooperative. Her name is Empress Danny James.
It's even more concerning to us fishers from Viewfort, because that is the fads, the 19 fads, and these fads down south. That's where we earn our daily bread. So it's not only concerning to me, but it's also concerning to all the fishers that use the sea for a daily. I also make a call to all fishers in St. Lucia. Let's convene a special meeting that we the fishers will lead a delegation to the Minister of Agriculture, Minister Lisa Joare, and engage her in a discussion as to what is going on, lay our concerns before her.
Just heard there from Empress Danny James, former president of the St. Lucia Fish Folk Cooperative. A lot more to discuss between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon. Let's open the lines at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And let's see if we have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, these are the officials the Prime Minister said are investigating the matter. Another WhatsApp message, it says there, let me tell you, no minister, no priest can do nothing about the killing of Lucians on the waters. If America wants, it can lock down St. Lucia, not even talk can help us. That's according to a WhatsApp message. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, you are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Great, excellent. Tim, I know you've covered a bit. I listened to a part of your preamble.
Hello?
And I'm not even calling to bash the government. What I'm concerned about, Tim, is the ordinary St. Lucian citizen who is saying, what can we do? You know, this is the big America. And I just read a post in response to something I posted from a principal, a former school principal, and a community leader, somebody leader in the society, saying that, hey, Cuba couldn't do anything and Venezuela couldn't do anything. You think it's us that can do something. You know, talk is cheap. But if we stand up, Tim, if St. Lucia doesn't speak out against this injustice, against this is cruelty, you know, that somebody, even if these people, I don't know what they were involved in, but the allegation, well, Trump says he has a narcotics war. He's fighting narco trafficking in the Caribbean Sea. So I'm assuming that these people were seen as trafficking drugs, being part of that narco trafficking. But Tim, the law, international law, says that you know you first have to go through trial, due process. You have to be charged, right? You have to be convicted before you're sentenced, but now we're just being executed. And isn't it ironic that this same U.S. administration is the same administration who forced St. Lucia to end the Cuban medical professionals program because they cited that it was inhumane, that there was human trafficking, people's human rights were being violated? But what about the rights of our fishermen who were just bombed? I mean, they rained fire down from the sky as if it was some divine, punishment upon the people. And St. Lucians are staying quiet and saying, well, we can't do anything about it. We're not going to go and bloody America's nose, but we have a voice and we have a right to stand up and speak. Even if these people may have been whatever they were doing, America or no country, regardless of its might, its military might, that it's a superpower, does not have the right to kill the citizens of another country without due process. If that had happened to Americans, America would have taken umbrage. They would have already declared war against the state that did that. Look at what they did to Ladera. There was some criminal activity over there. They put an advisory against the St. Lucian Hotel, right? They took action. But we're here, after our government is moved, then our people are following the same cowardly stance of the government, pretending that they're using diplomatic channels and they're going through negotiations. Tim, we know that's a nonsense. The government knows exactly what happened, and the government has a right, the people have a right to demand that the government speaks to us. Because like you said, Tim, I have people who are supposed to be on tour on the water, and they've canceled the tours. We're losing money because of the stance that the government is saying nothing. We have a huge naval armada in the Caribbean Sea. We have over 12,000 U.S. military personnel scattered throughout the Caribbean Sea. There is a new shaping of the Caribbean. The Caribbean is changing while we're here drinking our Bounty and Coke and, sipping our beers and having a great time, getting ready for independence. There is a war going on around us. And so our government needs to speak to the people and let the people know what's going on. we have been forced to accept or sign a memorandum of understanding to accept third-party deportees from the same U.S. administration. We have accepted that our people no longer qualify for a green card in the U.S. Many of our people who are applying for visas are being denied, and those with visas are being revoked. The government is silent about this. What more will it take for this government to come out? Will it have to take what happened to Maduro? That maybe when some of those Caribbean leaders are abducted and for in the U.S., is it that the time that we will start speaking? Tim, this is serious, and I'm so happy that you have broached this subject. I know they're going to come after you, but be courageous, my man. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. On a lighter note, this one extracted from the NewsSpin WhatsApp group. Somebody says there are places you ain't going to find me this year. 1, on a boat. 2, by a boat. 3, around a boat. 4, with a boat. 5, inside of a boat. 6, in the vicinity of a boat. Even more jocular, the person says, if you are a boating, don't even come by me. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see there what you are saying via WhatsApp. Somebody says there, Tim, these actions are not new. For some time, French authorities have been intercepting and destroying vessels suspected of transporting narcotics from St. Lucia. This context should be acknowledged to avoid selective outrage or hypocrisy. However, it will be important to clarify the nature and the scope of the Memorandum of Understanding between our government and the United States. Prime Minister Philip G. Pierre owes the public transparency on this matter. We have a call via the line. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello.
Hello, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, I'm again appealing to the Caribbean government to stand against that kind of behavior from the American government. Tim, the American government have no right to actually bomb any boat whatsoever where they just suspect them of dealing with drugs. I want them to get the evidence, because the family of those people need to sue America. You know, Tim, this is unacceptable. We will not tolerate that, Tim, in our land. We will not tolerate. Hello?
I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
Okay, when you say, caller, I think you should speak for yourself. You know, you think you want to speak for the rest of the St. Lucian population or the authorities that we will not tolerate this?
Tim,
what gives you the impression that we will not tolerate it? Maybe you.
By both, and they're supposed to listen to me. Tim,
they will listen to you.
This country all my life, Tim. I serve this country. Tim, I have a right to speak on behalf of my children. I have a right to speak on behalf of my grandchildren. I have a right to speak on behalf of my father. Tim, we will not tolerate this, Tim. Tim, the whole thing, the problem I face, I'm looking at, Tim, is that if we, St. Lucian, decide, or the government of St. Lucian decide to suspect one of those American ships and bomb them, you know, carrying drugs, or you're carrying drugs into St. Lucia, and we take that action against them, Tim, and the Americans will stick out against us.
But caller, what kind of action can we take against the Americans? Are you listening to yourself? What can we do? You're saying we should do? Bomb an American vessel?
Tim, I'm not telling you to bomb an American
What are you saying there? What are you saying?
We need to campaign. We need to demonstrate around the embassy, Tim. Go around the embassy and let the ambassador send the message out there.
But you're not even hearing your ambassadors, caller.
You know the enemy, well, you will hear him when we stand up against his office.
We have an ambassador in what's her name again? Menese Rambali. We have many other diplomats around the world. I mean, what purpose are they serving to us? In times like these, you need to hear from those people. Where are they?
We might hear somebody speaking. I'm hearing myself.
Where's the foreign minister? Where's Alpha Baptiste?
Tim, you have the phone. You could call him.
Call him?
Did you ever try calling him?
Caller, a few years now I've called Mr. Alpha Baptiste. He's never returned my call. All right. So
Mr. Alpha Baptiste last week, he answered me.
You called him?
Yes.
Are you well connected?
No, I call him. I call Richard Frederick and he answered me back.
Caller, I know you. And I know you're well connected. I know why Mr. Baptiste will take your call.
I made myself a humble servant to this country, sir. Tim, I'm a humble servant. Tim, I am not part of the ministers. I don't link with the ministers. I just do what I'm supposed to do. Once I call Richard would answer one no. I voice my opinion, my concern, and he will say, John, I can't, John, I cannot, and that's it. The same thing I spoke to Mr. Alva. I had a problem with a letter that was gone in concerning a vessel, and they took long, and then I called Mr. Alva, and he said, Mr. James.
Okay. Let's put it this way. Lucky you. You're more fortunate than most people. No, hold on, caller.
Did you ever try your luck?
You are more fortunate than others, caller.
Try your luck.
Forget that. I won't even answer you on that issue.
I
will not answer.
You're trying to be biased.
No, I'm not answering. I will not answer you on that. Because I told you recently, I just told you moments ago, I have called Mr. Alva Baptiste. He has never returned my call. So why would you ask me to try again? Have I ever tried? You're not listening to me. You understand?
Well, I didn't hear that part.
Yes, I told you that.
Okay, well, I don't know why you didn't answer, but try again, Tim.
I don't care. I won't try again. I don't waste my time.
But I will tell you something. I'm very concerned about the fishermen, and even we going outside there on a pleasure boat. And somebody made a statement. They say, once you carry more than 4 engines behind your vessel, you can be a target.
President Trump said that.
Pardon me?
President Trump.
Well, okay. All right, Tim. Well, it's not sounding good for the Caribbean. It is sounding good, Tim. We need to stand up as a group. We need to stand up as a team. We need to stand up as a solution and tell Trump, yeah, he could keep his America. You know, he can keep his America. We are happy in the Caribbean, Tim. Tim, they have fig, they have red food, they have everything, Tim. We good, Tim. We have fish, Tim.
We have fish? We still have fish?
Yeah, we have fish all around the place, man. We could stay there and drop on by the beach and we catch something there.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much. Let's turn our attention now to Shanti. Let's find out what's happening in the chat rooms. Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, we have Tim, where is the empty pot beaters? Another saying, I agree 100% with the previous caller. Another saying, all these people watching are from Miku. Another saying, the government are too busy with the battle relay. And another saying, since when is this Tim's responsibility? Moving to Facebook, we have one saying, Tim, Alva's father recently passed. Another saying, the government will not say anything because they do not want to lose their visas. Another saying, Danny is my very good friend, but she's one of the many sellouts who sold their souls for a handout. Another saying, the famous word, sovereignty. Another saying, caller, what action? Another saying, man, St. Lucians only have a voice when it's UWP in power. Another saying, nobody wasting their time to kidnap PJP. Another saying, we were held accountable for extrajudicial killings. Now we cannot ask a question. Another saying, the little black boy in office, so there's no more Black Lives Matter. Another saying, where is the police at the scene of the wreckage? Another saying, I hope St. Lucia government secure this piece of evidence. The result or the recklessness of the authorities to have the so-called evidence being tampered with. And another saying, is it a case now that the Marine Police are afraid to go out? Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Jante. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Lucians need to understand that USA runs the world, and to make gestures against the US is delusional. America knows everything which takes place in St. Lucia, and if they take action against us, there is nothing that we can do. We have a call on the landline as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world. PW on the line. Timothy.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Timothy, why are you so pessimistic about what can be done about the extrajudicial killings that are taking place in our waters?
Caller, the evidence is before us. I mean, you have people who are begging the St. Lucian public, begging Caribbean people to mount some kind of protest action. I mean, at this late stage, you think we should be in a position asking people to mount some kind of protest action? Don't you think it should have happened already?
Well, it is never too late to start. As I have said, I called your program yesterday, from Jamaica in the north, even the British Virgin Islands in the north, to Trinidad in the south. And that would send a strong message to the Caribbean diaspora in New York, in the United States, all over the United States, to lobby the congressmen and women to talk and consult members of the Republican Party that what the government of the United States have embarked on is not a good policy for the Caribbean.
This has been happening since September of last year. So,
yeah,
5 months now? 5 months now.
We were just waiting to see how far that is going to reach, but that has gone out of control now. 100 and something people have died. So we need to come out in full force. We need to designate a day to demonstrate and to send a strong message to the diaspora in the United States and in Canada to lobby the congressmen so that they can do something about what is happening in the Caribbean. Timothy, I thank you.
All right, thank you so much. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. One other individual who is very critical of the powers that be, in this case, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is former Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. He wants to hear from his leader regarding this latest incident which occurred between the waters of St. Lucia and St. Vincent.
Fishermen are going to be afraid of going out to sea. Because bling, out of the blue, they could just get bombed, carrying out ordinary fishing activity. Yep. And the Americans declare that you have drugs. Correct. With no evidence. That cannot be right. And if we can't speak about that, well, we're in a terrible way in the world. But the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines ain't saying anything about these matters. Not upholding any principle. Because they're afraid that President Trump and people around him will do them something. What that something is, they're just fearful. Well, you can't be living in fear if you're governing. You have to speak out in clear and unmistakable terms. Not in any infantile way, but in a mature way about the principles at stake. And the decent life and living that we want to have in our part of the world, and for us to work with our American friends in harmony.
Former Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. What do we have right now as leaders of the Caribbean are fair weather prime ministers? Things are going according to plan. You will hear them speak. They will come out and lend their voices to issues that they consider to be safe. And especially in the case of our own Prime Minister. He has a difficulty in addressing publicly those critical issues. He does not take the people of St. Lucia into his confidence whenever there is a situation that is difficult, a situation that is complicated. He does not address them. But rest assured, if there is any issue that would give the slightest impression that his government is excelling in terms of its performance, then he will speak, and effusively, elaborately at that. And when people want answers, when people want clarification, when people want explanations, as if he goes into hiding. But rest assured, from time to time, he will poke his head out and focus on those safe issues, those things that he considers to be, those to be vote catching, vote buying issues that certainly would tantalize the people, such as the launching of a logo for the Universal Health Care Program and others. But I think what right now, if you were to ask the average Sanusian, what is preoccupying your attention right now, especially if you from the East Coast, if you're from the south of the island, or even from Castries, that incident which occurred between St. Lucia and St. Vincent, resulting in 2 Sanusians being killed. I don't know the circumstances. We don't know whether those individuals were involved in any illegal activities. We don't know. That is why we need to hear from our leaders. You don't have leaders just to hold positions in a society without them fulfilling the responsibility that comes with that position. You are not National Security Minister just because it's a fancy title that you want, that you took up, and you do not want to, deliver on that mandate and that responsibility. If you're the police commissioner and crime is a serious issue, we don't expect you to go into hiding. If you are the health minister, critical health issues happening in our country, we expect to hear from you. Don't go into hiding. And we have to applaud the leader of the parliamentary opposition, whether you like him or not, and rightfully so. He has gone into hiding because he don't want to hear from that white man right now, because he'll just complicate the issue, complicate the situation, because all guns will turn in his direction. He will serve as a major distraction. So the person who was elected by the people of St. Lucia to represent the interest was the title of National Security Minister, who reminds us ever so often that mandate that he got on December the 1st, he must understand that comes with a huge responsibility. And we want to hear from him urgently regarding those situations. We're not blaming him. We want to hear from him, because we can't just pick up the phone and call the Americans, call the embassy in Bridgetown, Barbados, and for them to be speaking directly to the citizens of the country. They more likely will take the call of the Prime Minister and other related government ministers and government officials. So we have to wait. Let's wait to hear and see what will happen. You have a call on the line. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Bon après-midi, Tim. Comment les bagailles?
Yes, I'm okay, Colin. Bon après-midi.
Tim, ma pas voulu vous ça, baïsa calé là, baïsa là, sérieux. Où est le bâtiment? Et bâtiment ça, on a couillé bâtiment ça là, bâtiment ici. Mon qui ni bâtiment ça actuellement, qui a couillé bâtiment ça là.
Capitaine,
c'est Philippe Tipier. Now, sans me dire, pour qui M. Philippe Tipier a allé courir actuellement, pour qui a sévé, ben là c'est ça. Si nous avons un problème, c'est actuellement on est pour montrer manière petit nombre nous ça là ça, du bout by pays. Ou ka courir, ça pas bon pièce. Actuellement ça nous a noir rouge. Ça pas bon pièce. Monsieur Ralph Gonzague, vini di un bagay. Il pas même en position, hein. Il est en opposition. Monsieur Philippe Gépé, n'a pas en mission. Sous ou pas ça, capitaine, bâtiment ça là, véhicule dans la mer. Et puis il y a un monde qui sa capitaine. Ou un monde comme John Odlom et c'est Odlom là et c'est les autres comme toi, moi ça doit être dire bagaille. C'est pour ça moi toujours qu'a dit, c'est pas les ou on dit dans bâtiment ou ça mène bâtiment qu'on veut. On y pour une expérience et expérience là Pierre actuellement, il passe à faire un rien et puis ça. Tout ça yo ka fait, yo ka try sauver ti visa. Now moi qui chom tay point visa la main yo tout et puis on est pour faire yo mode comme ça yo fait modera. Bye bye.
Merci beaucoup. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages, and of course some updates from Jante. And we'll be hearing from a regional prime minister ahead of the next CARICOM Heads Summit that is scheduled for next week. The Briefcase is hosting a pop-up in Vieux-Fort Town Square on Saturday, 28th of February 2026, offering fast, stress-free help with passport and visa applications. They also assist with passport renewals, police records, U.S. visas, and business registration. No lines, no hassle, just expert support, all in one place. You can also visit their main office on High Street, Castries, opposite the ID card office, Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Also, there's a special promotion. Apply for a passport with the Briefcase for a chance to win a trip to Martinique aboard Express des Îles for Independence. Promotion ends on February 28th, 2026.
Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with New Select. No more paper, no more mess. Easy billing, no stress. Use my account to pay online. Pay your bill at any time. Get the stress off your mind. No more standing in line.
Visit newselect.com today and sign up to my account to pay your bill. Request a temporary or new connection or switch an account to your tenant's name. Do it all online.
Personal, paperless. Use the virtual service desk. Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with New Select.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, Vieux-Fort, 454-6555.
Flow makes your next phone upgrade easy. Add postpaid to your internet plan and score a Samsung Galaxy for as low as $47 a month. It's the smartest way to an interest-free premium phone upgrade. Don't let anything stand between you and that new phone feeling. Step into your upgrade with confidence. Visit us in store and sign up today. We keep your rhythm flowing. Terms and conditions apply.
Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE-certified MRI technology and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique du Corps, because time is vital in health.
First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true. With a mortgage built around you, tailored to make sure everything's smooth. 100% financing, it's true. Get a first wish mortgage, it's the best move. Get your mortgage now and fulfill your first wish. Just knowing that First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true.
Visit your First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com to apply for your first wish mortgage.
At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastuche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastuche Limited is located in Bexon, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastuche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
CPJ, fresh mat, give me a fresh start. Look at money I saving.
Spending money and 9 on facts. Cause there's so many things that I can get.
With everybody crying, but finally it's here. With value for your money, so don't worry, have no fear. Don't worry about no parking, there's parking everywhere. CPJ Fresh Market, there's no doubt, the choice is clear.
And you saving money every day.
At CPJ,
a wide variety.
At CPJ,
great customer service, yeah.
At CPJ,
on the highest quality.
At CPJ.
CPJ Fresh Market, where service is just the beginning.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world, where we continue with your calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Bon après-midi, monsieur Tim. Comment ça va, frère?
Oui, moi bien. Ça fait.
Moi la gâte. Bonne année, frère. Première fois n'a pris au bout de l'année. Bonne année.
Same to you.
Ok, Tim, mon y'a ti parole pour dire les paroles là, moi attends dans les radio stations. Tim, mon gars dit cette mission by Kakui Alan Chasney. Because what vote against Alan Chasney, après that Kakui, moun la vote by là. What vote by Philippe J.Pierre. Kouye Philippe J.Pierre pour répondre question. Because Philippe J.Pierre là, coward. Il pas qu'à parler, il sait oui. Ogoban, so moi, quand 17 lycéens, pas couiller Alan Chasney, si Alan Chasney c'est côté hier, couiller Philippe J.Pierre pour parler on behalf of nous, en pays ça là. Ogoban, c'est pour ça qu'il est clé. Il dit, mais c'est mon premier team. Il dit, mais c'est mon premier qu'à présent, il a fait, il n'a pas sorti parler on behalf of 7 lycéens. Ogoban, qui qualité Prime Ministre nous n'y a pays ça? Nom la paix la peau, il paie quoi? Il paie quoi? Ogoban, ex-christien, viens mettre mission en parole. Tim, moi gagne en parole. Tim, moi sans UWP qui hat, n'a supporté UWP. Ma ça me garder comment? Pour prendre l'argent, il était baillé en campagne là avec mon vote against UWP. So ça c'est cette liste jeune à présent. Chebe, pas couille Alan Chasney, couille Philippe J.Pierre, pour parler on behalf d'autres à against l'Amérique. Ogoban. So moi quand dis yo, qui fait Alan Chasney bat misère. Avec couille Philippe J.Pierre pour solve problèmes autres by autres. Pas Alan Chasney. Couille Philippe J.Pierre Tim. Moi dis ça à tout chez moi. Couiller Philippe J.Pierre pour parler en faveur cette mission de Gazibi, mais c'est mon la premier. Ogoban, qui quand le Prime Ministre nous n'y a payé à Tim? Non, on appelle la police. Ça, c'est un go console. Hein? Go console, y'en qui a fait ces bails ça au Tim. Non, c'est un go console, Tim. Non, on appelle la police, ça qu'à parler.
Ça qui est un go console?
Go console, c'est un console, Tim. Un console that, qui pas qu'à chose quoi, qui pas qu'à mener pour la base nous ça.
Merci. Ou ka di?
Moi ça y est.
Ou ka di ba yo pas ça? Ou ka di ba yo pas ça explain?
Moi ça n'a pas l'air là. Moi ça n'a pas l'air là.
OK.
Moi ça n'a dit. Mais par là qui just pas qu'à venir Tim.
OK. All right, caller.
Tim, merci pour tout ce bon moment.
Oui, merci beaucoup. All right, thank you so much. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. And let us see if you have any of your WhatsApp messages. Let me see there. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Just bear with me. Just trying to see if I could open this one. And then we will take a call in just a moment. All right, let's see there. 452-2979. Once again, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. 716-2026. Okay, we're about to take a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Poleon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
All your listeners. Okay, we've heard it. We've said what's been done, what action has been done. We cannot do what we cannot do, but we ought to do what we can do. Every solution should denounce murder, execution, illegal, you know what I'm saying? Extrajudicial killing, raise our voice. That's what we can do. Don't say we're raising your voice all the time. At the end of the day, what did you do? I can raise my voice, I raise my voice. If you can raise your hand, raise your hand. So I suggest him for Independence Day, we raise a black flag next to the national flag in our mourning for our St. Lucians, not two dogs that die in the water there. You understand? For our people's solidarity. And everybody, all St. Lucians wear black shirts and black pants. I'll be my black shirt. People saying, who talking? The authorities are not saying anything, so you need an authority, a prime minister to tell you wear black shirts. You need a prime minister to tell you, well, raise your voice and I have posted on social media. I have called him every program. I have denounced it. So I will be in a black shirt and a black pants to protest and to mourn, because right now it's national mourning. 2 of our people are just blown up in the water. If the missile was misdirected and it hit, we have Denry village next to the sea, Miko village, Fort, close to the sea, and it hit a village. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, start simple. We cannot fight America with military might. We can't do that. We can make our voices heard, our denunciation, our displeasure, and we all mourn on the Independence Day, because it seems our independence is being made a mockery of. We have no sovereignty. Somebody coming in our waters and blowing up our people. That means let us all wear a black shirt on Independence Day. That's a step. So shall we grieving, we mourning for our people, and the authorities will write, to the diplomatic channels and express it for us. I don't wait for a prime minister or a minister to tell me wear a black shirt in mourning on a national holiday. So that's my suggestion, and I will lead by the front. Okay. Another thing I see too. Mm-hmm. Now, one more thing. I read a quote. There's a difference between a woman wanting a husband and wanting to be a wife. Wanting to be a husband is status, and a lot of our leaders and ministers want the status of being a minister. But wanting to be a wife is to commit to service, and that's the difference. People want to be in position, and you're on the serve. You're afraid to lose your little favors, to stand up, not to invite it, to get a free ticket for jazz, a free VIP pass, an invitation to government house free whiskey. That will comfort people afraid to lose stand up for us, right? Come on. I ain't waiting for nobody. I'm going to wear my black shirt and my black pants, my black shoe. If I'm alive on Independence Day, I'm mourning for just cause. That's a righteousness, guys. Thank you, Tim.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Let me turn my attention to Jante. Let's find out what is in the chat rooms.
Starting off on YouTube, Tim, we have one saying, caller, go ahead, call the ministry and put forth your concerns. Where the fish is, you have no idea what our fishermen are going through. Another saying, the minister is normally answered, so why don't you call them then? Another saying, PW, Lucians will not lobby Congress people. Folks are busy trying to stay out of the way, minding their business, and minding the hands that feed them. It's reality for us out there. We have another comment saying, would like to ask the PM whether he's afraid of losing his visa or willing to sacrifice his countrymen to protect members and dealings of his party. Over here on Facebook, we have one saying, local foreign minister on the phone. Another saying, yes, scholar, that's right. Another saying, perfectly said. And another saying, this situation is really just sad. The little black boy is powerless in the eyes of the white man. No chance. You're better off sending Shas to negotiate with the US. Makadi Chubum. Another saying, Ralph, hope that speech also pertains to your St. Lucian counterparts. Zotla Black Lives Matter, Mwela My Life Matters. Another saying, Tenacious Tim, the new norm is silence. Philip J. Pierre is the captain of the Titanic. Another saying, demonstrate where, for what, PW. PW, you will quicker see a purple pig flying than this happening. PW, you can do it with Black Lives Matter. And another saying, as soon as you start to protest, Trump will deport all St. Lucians from the US. He can get it done because he has people willing to do it. Trump does not care about laws and or rules. He would say anything if he was in power, referring to Ralph. Tell him to ask Philip to speak because St. Lucians are dead. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Shante, for that update. A WhatsApp message. It says there, Tim, comrades, I love you all. Comrades, I love you all. Those are PJP's words on his platform. So today we want him to say, Lucians, I love you all, since he represents every St. Lucian. So we want him to let us know that he's dealing with this killing on the water. Comrades, I love you all. So show us, comrades, you care. Thank you, PJP. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another person says there, the burning question is, did the St. Lucia government give permission to the US government to police our waters against us and put the, in quotes, narco-terrorists in our waters, resulting in this bombing of the boat / fishing vessel? And some more of your messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, good afternoon. The Americans didn't just bomb the boat. The American Southern Command have contacts on the island to check whether the boats had departure or entry clearance from the necessary authorities. Hence the reason behind the Prime Minister's vague answers on the subject. He doesn't want to bite more than he can chew a second time. And another person says there via WhatsApp, a long one. It says there, to our humble St. Lucians, the reality is kicking in and it's only going to get worse during the election campaign. Mr. Shansney told us all about these consequences that are about to hit us real hard. He told us all that Pierre is not tell us nothing about it all. He and his other clowns were doing was bashing Mr. Shansney and reducing him. We will all learn the hard way. Now you're hardly hearing them. The leader is talking like he has hot dumplings in his mouth. The mood is red for sacrifice. Mr. Shas, I beg you and your cabinet or your fellow politicians to be silent on this matter, because I always know you have genuine line or love for us St. Lucians. Such a humble man. That's according to a WhatsApp message. We have a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing?
I am okay, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good. Tim, just an observation. Someone earlier commented, or I don't know if it's you who read it, that the US knows everything that's happening in St. Lucia and other countries.
Yes.
I might agree with that. But then we have things that happening in the country that maybe the US is not monitoring, but because we have such a medium in that the internet and YouTube and this and that, don't you think the US know that containers of arms came into St. Lucia and nothing was done about that? Don't you think that the US knows that Tyson was killed and nothing was done about that? Don't you think that the US knows?
Hold on there. We don't know. We don't know that Tyson was killed, because if you've been listening to the police, they're telling you that definitely Tyson was not poisoned.
You are saying allegation.
Okay? Yeah.
You're saying allegation. It was alleged. So, Tim, to me, I feel that dog was not sick. He didn't just up and die. Okay? So, fine. I accept your correction for legality sake. But then, all these things that so many people have been held with tons of drugs and nothing has been done. The police have confiscated so many bales of drugs and cocaine and marijuana, and you have not seen the destruction of these drugs in public or anywhere. What is happening to it? Don't you think that the US... So, if the US have, how would I say, fulfilled its mission around the Venezuela area, the Caribbean waters are next route to America for drugs too. And so, the US is taking action. And this is where all the questions are being asked, whether our ministers, prime ministers, whether they are saying anything. Apparently, they have nothing to say because maybe you're the complice. Merci, Tim.
Okay, merci beaucoup. 452-2979. We have another call this time on the landline as we say hello and good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you. How about you?
Yeah. Well, I'm not doing too good at all, Tim, with the news I'm hearing. But Tim, first of all, I would like to send my condolences to the Calendar's family. First of all, that's Michelle Calendar, the widow of the Paul guy who died recently. Sometime last
Oh, Tony Paul.
Tony Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's first of all. Tim, also to the two fishermen and others, in fact, every single life that was taken on this Caribbean Sea, I would like to say my deepest condolences to everyone. They're all human beings, and I believe as human beings, we deserve to hear the truth, we deserve to be mourned, and we deserve for the people who are at the highest office to answer people that put them in power. Whether or not you tell us today, tomorrow, you at least come out and make a statement. I'm also calling on the Marine Department because they are the one that are at sea. Can someone from the Marine Department just come out to tell us what really happened, or just give us an idea of what we may think that is happening? The fishermen that are out there, the normal people who are on the sea. I mean, nobody have things like something they normally have through Rodney Heights, Rodney Bay. This thing is to do with the act or the act. I mean, this thing is scary, and we should not be afraid of America or any big mighty country. You know, when I watched David and Goliath, what did happen? He took his sling and he still put him down. All I'm saying is, if everyone unites, and I'm talking about both Carib, come on a whole, and St. Lucian people, St. Lucia, this could have been your mother, your father, your auntie, your nene, cousin, there. Whether or not the man was carrying drugs, nobody knows. This is what the media is saying to us. You understand? We need to be very careful as to what we are saying out there. Very, very, very careful. Surely, those people have a mother and they have a father. They have brothers and sisters also. They have nenen. They have godfather, godmother. And I am totally, 100% with Mr. Daniel when he said we should all wear a black shirt and a black pants or whatever he wants to do. Yes, we're 47 years going into independent. No one is not saying that. But at least let us stand together for our two fishermen or three fishermen, whichever how many of them they are, because we never know when it will be our turn. And it should not take for it to be a minister's son or mother, daughter to be bombed by the US. And I'm not going to use the word alleged because it happened. We need answer, and we need an answer now. Thank you very much, Tim.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much for calling. Somebody says via WhatsApp. I remember some time ago in the parliament, there used to have a group of men who used to speak, and when they are speaking, you would stay all the way up pavé and hear their voices. Now we need that. The local white man is not in the house right now, but the international white man is in your water. Let's hear your voice. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another person says the St. Lucians are protected. The victory as PJP asked to do so. Please, PJP, you now protect us. Come out, let us know you have been engaged with the U.S. about lives lost in the water. We're waiting to hear from you, PJP. Our lives matter in St. Lucia. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says there, I'm not usually lost for words, but that latest bombing of the fishermen did it for me. I'm just sad and shocked. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Some more of your messages. Somebody says there, Tim, it's the mood is red. If they don't like it, tell them put it in their pipe and smoke it. Today is Tuesday. Now he's saying being a political leader is hard in these times. He didn't know that. He was the most readied. Tell him deal with it now. And let's see if we have some more of your messages. And somebody says there, ran for as prime minister when this started happening. Over 100 people had already been killed when he was prime minister. What did he say and do then? Now he's in opposition. He found the balls to stand up to the United States. You have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. How about you?
I'm blessed, thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, my take on that. I don't support that radical action by the U.S. in the Caribbean seas, because right now it has put fears in some of the fishermen who are depending on that. That is their livelihood. That is how they survive. Go to the waters, take the risk of going out there to get fish to bring to the community, to sell, to take care of the family, to send the children to school. Okay, however, I haven't heard anything much from the Prime Minister, neither any of the ministers to defend those fishermen. And on top of it again, now they are calling on the opposition leader, Alan Shas, to come out and speak. The caller who called and said that, do not call him, I agree with him 100%. Because St. Lucians were too stupid and greedy to let money fool them to go and vote for the Labour Party. And right now, they are facing this destruction that is happening there. Because when they come out and said the mood is red, did they even take a minute to sit down and think, what is the meaning of the mood is red? What are they saying?
But caller, you cannot blame you cannot blame the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. You cannot blame the people of St. Lucia for having elected the St. Lucia Labour Party into office for what is happening in the East Pacific or the Pacific and also in the Caribbean Sea. It is Trump that is doing what he wants. Okay, I think my issue is the response. My issue is the lack of a response on the part of our Prime Minister and the government of St. Lucia, to really explain exactly St. Lucia's position, what they know, instead of just telling us, what we have already been hearing. Tell us exactly what is happening in terms of the discussions with the American counterparts. But I don't think that has anything to do with the outcome of the last general election. Listening to you, sir.
Let me tell you, Alan Shastney had warned St. Lucian. Not now. They have been warning them. Okay?
What if St. Lucians what if St. Lucians elected the United Workers' Party into office last December? What would have happened now if the situation was the same? What do you think would have happened?
I'm certain sure. I'm certain sure if the United Workers was in office and that happened, you would have heard from Alan Shastney. Okay? He would have come out and addressed the nation about it. He would have said something. Okay, so that people can know where he stands. Okay, he would have come out and said something, not like this coward prime minister we have there. Okay, this man is a coward. Okay, all he cares about is protect the victory. What is he doing? What is he saying? We want to know. And I'm certain sure right now that most fishermen will be fear of going out to sea. And you know that, right?
I don't
There'll
know
be
that.
fear if they go out there. If they go out there, they couldn't get glass the same way. Okay? This had put fear on the people of St. Lucia. Please, leave Alan Shastney where he is at. Leave the man alone. Do not call him because that's what you all voted for. The mood is red. Tell Philip J. Pierre to mention to you all, to explain to you all what's the name of the mood is red. Okay? Call on him. Call on the Prime Minister. Call on all the ministers. Let them explain to you all what is the name of the mood is red. Leave Alan Shastney alone. Do not call him. Do not call Alan Shastney. Leave him alone. Okay? Call on Philip J. Pierre on his administration.
Okay, caller.
Anyway, Tim,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Somebody says that if Alan Shastney was in office, then Mr. Philip J. Pierre would have had a lot to say. Let us hear from the chairman of CARICOM, the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, is Dr. Terence Drew, speaking during a round table discussion this week, and he focused on what is happening right now on the high seas, what the Americans call Operation Southern Spear.
With respect to Southern Spear, and there was, I think, some activities in St. Vincent and St. Lucia. The prime ministers, they have not sent out any specific information on that matter as yet, and we are hoping to see what's that all about from their perspective, being the countries directly involved. So we continue to monitor that situation as well. Let me say that recently the commissioner and the commander of the Defense Force, Major Sutton, traveled for high-level meetings with respect to the security issues that are taking place in the Caribbean. So that's one. And that interface helped tremendously in understanding and putting having discussions around the matter. But I can say that this matter, I'm sure, will be a matter that will be discussed at CARICOM in the next week or so, when all leaders would have met and we would discuss this matter and as a region determine where we would go on this particular matter. This matter is not just a St. Kitts Nevis matter, it is a regional matter. But of course, we always want to maintain our security here in the region. There are challenges, there are limitations, but CARICOM, I know, will continue to engage. And next week, we will engage more profoundly when all of us meet face to face to discuss these security matters.
The chairman of CARICOM and Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
To have a strong structure, you must have a strong foundation. And at Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer top quality aggregate materials at great prices. We supply high quality ready mix, cast in sand and plaster in sand. We also take special requests for specific materials that you may require for your building projects. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexon behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true. With a mortgage built around you, tailored to make sure everything's smooth. 100% financing, it's true. Get a first wish mortgage, it's the best move. Get your mortgage now and fulfill your first wish. Just knowing that First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true.
Visit your First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com to apply for your first wish mortgage.
La Clinique du Corps leads the Caribbean in advanced MRI, aligned with globally recognized standards. Avoid overseas stress, delays, and cancelled scans. Reports in 24 to 48 hours. No translation, no overseas processing. Your doctor receives your imaging directly for seamless continuity of care. All major insurance accepted. Call 451-6559. Once again, 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. The WhatsApp number 721-9950.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
Flow makes your next phone upgrade easy. Add postpaid to your internet plan and score a Samsung Galaxy for as low as $47 a month. It's the smartest way to an interest-free premium phone upgrade. Don't let anything stand between you and that new phone feeling. Step into your upgrade with confidence. Visit us in store and sign up today. We keep your rhythm flowing. Terms and conditions apply.
The Roadhouse experience awaits. Crave something real? Get ready to experience the ultimate destination for unforgettable memories. The Roadhouse experience. Feast your senses with exceptional service, all under one roof. From our classic restaurant and bar to our exclusive private nightclub. Unwind at our elevated hookah bar. Gather in our versatile conference room for any event, or even shop at our variety store. Ditch the ordinary and embrace the extraordinary. Raj Roadhouse promises real vibes, real fun. Nestled in cul-de-sac along the Bexar Highway. Call us at 286-6249 for more information.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Somebody's asking, does the minister responsible for fisheries have anything to say? Any word of reassurance or guidance for our fishermen? Well, not a word, not a word. We continue with, we have a call from an interesting individual. Good afternoon to you, sir. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Bermuda, good afternoon to you, sir.
I heard you say just now what the great man Sir Alan Michael Shastri would have done. Sir Alan Michael Shastri, for the record, sir, was taking care of his borders. And the SFP Morgus gang, they opposed it 1,000,000,000%. So Alan Michael Shastri was putting everything in place to secure St. Lucia. And other countries are wrong. They opposed everything. Okay? The problem we have now, there's 16-1. 16-1. This is about the 5th time St. Lucians have gave the SWP Mogus gang a 2/3 majority. Though 95% of the development is done by the UWP, and I'm not a flabo. Let me continue. Then you cannot find one person, sir. There's not one person. And I heard Rick Wayne talking about Richard Frederick and Philip Pierre and Kenny Anthony, those three men all the time. But I'm saying to you, sir, what I'm trying to say, SMB cannot find not one person to get to sit down with Rubio or Vance or Donald Trump. Not one. Because he will not listen to them. He won't pay them no mind. The only man we have in the Caribbean, sir, that the U.S. would listen to, would give an ear to, and he would bring home the bacon, is the great Sir Alan Michael Shastney. I hear Rick Wayne talking a lot of nonsense from every day coming, telling people what was Kenny this and Kenny that. Rick Wayne, Kenny was the worst prime minister before Pierre. You push a Kenny down people's throat? What's wrong with you, man? You think I'm that dumb or what, man? Then Douglas Frederick, what you talking about? He's the hardest working man. Hardest working man doing what? Doing what, Rick Wayne? Talking a lot of nonsense, lying to people and fooling the people, building shacks to the people, and building condos for himself. What has Pierre done? What is CIP money? Rick Wayne talk about those things, Rick Wayne. I tell you, you're nonsense, man. If the great man Sir Alan Michael Shastney was here, we would not be in that predicament today.
But hold on, But Mr. Bermuda is saying that if he were Prime Minister, we would not be going through that predicament today. Explain, because I disagree with you.
Let me tell you why.
If you could tell me, his response would have been different. He would have been more forthcoming with the St. Lucian public. He would have had an address to the nation by now. But I don't know that the Alan Shastney has so much influence over President Trump.
Man, you don't know Sir Alan Michael Shastney is the most respected man in the Caribbean? As far as the first world countries are concerned, you don't know that?
No, you're talking about influence. I don't know that he has any influence over Trump to the extent that Trump would decide not to blow up our vessels in the Caribbean waters.
Big shot, let me tell you something. I know what you got. If you want to be dumb, that's your business. The great man, Sir Alan Michael Shastney, is respected and he have a lot of power. You see him there. He have a lot of power, you see him there. He's a lot of man. He's a lot of man, you see him there. We will never be in this predicament.
I disagree with you.
You would jump on a plane?
I disagree.
You would jump on a plane.
I disagree.
Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. Hold on. You can disagree all you like. Because you just disagree to a lot. You just agree to a lot of nonsense. Listen to Rick Wayne. Don't worry about you.
No.
Let me tell you something.
You have your beef with Rick. That's you. But I'm just saying to you, I disagree with you. I do not believe that President Trump has sufficient.
I am saying to you, sir, St. Lucia, the only man in the Caribbean that could make the Caribbean right now, make it right, bring home the bacon, is Sir Alan Michael Shastney. You could take that, Philip, take that as smooth as your pipes. Smooth as your pipes. The brilliant, the great, the genius, Sir Alan Michael Shastney.
Okay, Mr. Bermuda.
Rick Wayne. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. That Rick Wayne thing, leave it for another day, and I'm sure that Rick Wayne will get to defend his good name tomorrow when we continue our broadcast. By the way, today is Ash Wednesday, and we have a statement that was issued earlier today to coincide with the observance, and that statement is by the chairman of the St. Lucia Christian Council, Archdeacon Christian Glasgow.
My brothers and sisters in Christ, Wednesday, 18th February 2026, Ash Wednesday, marks the beginning of Lent 2026, a period when many Christians deepen their spiritual practices to foster growth as they anticipate fulfillment in Christ. A season during which the Church invites us to walk closer with Jesus Christ as we actively await His return and anticipate our participation in His heavenly banquet. For those who use revised common lectionary to guide their choice of scripture readings week by week, would have ended the liturgical season of Epiphany with the Transfiguration account as carried in St. Matthew chapter 17, verses 1 to 9. Having journeyed through the season of the Epiphany with the emphasis on the identity of Jesus, with all its ramifications, and by extension, the demands such identity places on Christians, the Transfiguration acts as a beacon of hope, comfort, strengthening for the journey through Lent, which focuses on the obedience of the Son to the will of the Father, and by extension, challenging Christians to emulate him, Jesus, to take up our cross daily, that is, being obedient to the will of the Father. In essence, to live daily in adherence to Paul's admonition, as we find in Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, so that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. The Christian Council of St. Lucia invites you to journey with Jesus this Lent, guided by the theme of Micah 6:8. He has told you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love kindness and to work humbly with your God? Certainly, this theme is very relevant and timely for us as a nation, as we contemplate the challenges of our daily existence, and more so as we celebrate our 47th anniversary of independence under the theme, Duvanazam, nourishing our people, strengthening our nation. A theme which emphasizes unity, health, and national progress, encouraging collective action for a stronger, more resilient country. Undoubtedly, the prophet Micah has much guidance to offer us, for the realities of his day were not so far removed from our time. A variety of social injustices, economic challenges, disunity, violence, crime, and indifference to God were some of the realities of Micah's day. In responding to these traits, which were and are still inconsistent with the way God's covenantal people ought to live, Micah highlighted God's benevolent act on behalf of his people and the consequences the action would like to bring on the nation. Out of this, one can hear the penitent unspoken question to the prophet, what must we do? Hence the response, he has told you, mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God? In essence, Michael challenged the people by their daily living to actively seek to build a just and equitable community reflective of God's care and concern, love, being careful to put God first and to live in conformity with his will. It is this growth and enhancement of a relationship with God, who is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and all his creation, that the Church Fathers seek to facilitate year by year as we journey through the season of Lent, beginning with the imposition of ashes and the addition of several spiritual disciplines. Imagine, if you will, what life in St. Lucia will be like if we embody our 47th anniversary of independence theme to mean focusing our daily living to actively seek to build a just and equitable community reflective of God's care and concern, love, being careful to put God first and to live in conformity with his will. The Christian Council of St. Lucia reiterates its invitation for you to join us this Lent, to journey with Jesus Christ under the theme, he has told you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God? We encourage you to participate in your church's Lenten activities, to cultivate and enhance your spiritual discipline and deepen your relationship with God and his creation. We wish you a holy Lenten fast, and may God bless us all.
Archdeacon Christian Glasgow, who is the chairperson of the St. Lucia Christian Council. The statement coincides with the observance of Ash Wednesday and the commencement of the Lenten season. A few of your WhatsApp messages as we conclude. Somebody says that, Tim, you recall the former magistrate who called your show recently talking about the issue of the student who beat on the security guard. She said something that blew me away about he was neatly dressed. Someone is caring for this boy. Tim, the white-collar criminals are nicely dressed. They commit all their lethal transactions in their three-piece suits, driving their expensive vehicles and living their elite lifestyles. Look at the names in the Epstein files and the atrocious crimes they are outed for. But everyone on there are mostly well-dressed people. No? St. Lucians, let us not gain education but lose common sense. Wrong is wrong. Another WhatsApp message, Tim, I see what is happening with these military bombings of vessels as an invasion happening right under our eyes. Soon they will take over the entire region. International law and human rights mean nothing to these people on the throne of power. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message as we're getting all set to conclude our broadcast. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, as far as I'm concerned, Philip J. Pierre can continue to be quiet on the U.S. actions on the boat because he does not know how to speak the truth, and so also can the relevant authorities in his cabinet for this incident because all will be lies. Another WhatsApp message. It says there, that's our government can't talk worship in VA4. Another one. It says that Tim, I sympathize with the families of the victims of that boat incident. They may not have been involved in any questionable actions. However, there are many stories of boaters doing unscrupulous things at sea, and Peter is simply paying for Paul at this moment. Tim, we also need answers from our red and dead leaders who are sadly doing a good job at keeping this country dead and backward. Another WhatsApp message, and this person says there, why do we only want to blame President Trump and not our leaders? We in the Caribbean do not know what our leaders signed for. Well, only way we know what happened is when things begin to unfold. St. Lucians got killed. Where is our Prime Minister and his cabinet? More WhatsApp messages. What the U.S. is doing here is committing murder. Drug running is not punishable by death in the U.S. So why is it okay to do it here? Here is a novel idea. Why doesn't the U.S. kill the drug users in the U.S.? Because if you have no demand, there will be no need for supply. And somebody also says, why don't we speak out to the Governor General? The King is still our monarch and we are part of the Commonwealth. Let's ask the question to the British. Another one says, PW should keep his mouth shut. He was one of the many Caribbean people who were elated that Trump won. So he should just stop speaking out of both sides of his mouth. Another one, WhatsApp message, and it reads, I read of confirmation by the U.S. of the action taken on the fishing boat that was destroyed somewhere in the Canoan waters in the Caribbean. According to reports, innocent lives were lost. If that is the case, we must stand together as one CARICOM region to fight these crimes against humanity. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another one. And it says that unfortunately, what can be expected from a government that kills its own? Wasn't Alex Petty labeled a domestic terrorist? This worked partially for Nicole Good, but once Petty's identity was confirmed as an ICU nurse for veterans, the story changed. The US's actions and credibility is rogue and questionable. Therefore, while I do not condone drug trafficking, I believe our government has a responsibility to request in writing an inquiry into this incident from the United States. Another one says there, who is responsible for imposing the Leahy law on the Americans for extrajudicial killings? And yet another WhatsApp message. So this strike on the fishermen is not extrajudicial killing. Why is the government so quiet? Did the St. Lucia government give the U.S. permission to operate with deadly force within our waters? This is vexing. The St. Lucia Coast Guard could have been called to intercept the vessel if it was suspected of carrying narcotics. This is murder. And somebody says there, since when we have Venezuelan going fishing with Lucians? America and stupid, they need to monitor between Martinique and St. Lucia. And another person says, Tim, what I'm seeing is that he is destroying the tourism sector that we are solely dependent on. I don't know which that person is referencing. Then the WhatsApp message. Tim, when Rosa Parks refused to get up to allow a white person to sit, she was one lone person among millions. When Nelson Mandela was protesting against racism, he was one voice in the wilderness. He was willing to go to jail for his conviction. I'm surprised that those so-called progressives were saying there's nothing that we can do. Yet another WhatsApp message. To my view, because it's an alleged drug offense and persons were killed, the police commissioner is a person that should make a statement. Another one says there, now I know that St. Lucia will never go to war for the lives of its citizens. Okay. Your WhatsApp messages, thank you so much for listening and watching another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. Before we conclude, here's what you can do for me. Please like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.